did.
Get out.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we get started, we'll go to the minutes. Do you want us to do this now, Nate? So if you have to go home, you can leave early?
I would love that.
Okay, now how many of these signatures do you need? How many of these do you need signed? This is the warrant.
There's 2 things to sign, and there's 4 copies of each. One is the warrant articles, the other one is the default budget.
Okay, the
So 8 things.
all of these are gonna be signed, these 4 are all gonna be signed by us. Stacked over there. Won't get confused. It's got the MS?
Yeah, so no, yep. Yeah, we got that.
Okay, all right. And how many of these do you need in this one? All of them?
All 4, yeah.
I've got more than 4.
There should be 4 there.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, Peg's done it, I'll stat that with Melissa.
Do I sign
Does
as
it
the
Peg already
clerk?
sign?
Or is this just for the school board?
I signed
That one,
everything.
I asked.
Not these ones.
Okay. Had nothing to do. Okay.
We'll get that out of the way, and if he needs to leave, we can squish him out the door, squish him out the door.
Squish him out the door.
Oh, get out.
GC, try to squish me.
All right.
He's gonna go, hee hee. Who does that?
Yep.
Sorry.
Too far to me.
Not as fast as you.
Oh, jeez.
Your name's probably readable. Mine's
I did.
Tammy's.
We don't allow snorting at school board. Okay.
Yeah.
No, this isn't for me. I can't sign this yet.
This is the school warrant that we're signing, going from Peg's side.
All right, here's all these.
Almost ready.
These?
How you messing me up here?
What I do.
Get
What I
me in
do.
for my darn parts meetings.
That's right. Revenge.
Revenge is-
Where's the sign?
Oh, those also, yes. Those are the bills, you gotta pay those.
Oh,
Got no choice.
Pay some bills.
That was good. Didn't even put your head up and look.
Nope.
Ooh.
Ooh. I have 6 kids. If I looked at everybody when I spoke to them,
Right?
my neck would be broken.
We all
Those are
set?
done, yeah.
Get them back to Nate, please.
Nate.
Oh, these two go that way.
Oh, okay.
Whoa,
What's that?
Paul didn't sign those.
I haven't signed them yet. Any of these
There's
yet.
this one.
Okay.
That's it, just one signature?
This is you too.
That's going this way.
Your head hurt? Okay.
Hurts him to me.
Okay.
What's my name?
You sure that's your name?
I almost signed. I almost wrote my name as Emily Member instead of Emily Member. This is all
I'll
for you.
take care of those after.
All right.
Get our show on over. Okay, public comments?
I
Yes,
just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Kelly Barker. I'm the new president of the trustees of the library. So I'm just coming to introduce myself. And we generally would invite the principal to come to our next meeting. We do that historically, so March 25th at 6 o'clock in the community room, so.
Welcome, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for having come.
What
Thank
did
you
I-
so much.
So,
Kelly, you wanna say that again? She didn't,
Kelly Barker, I'm the new president of the library trustees. Just wanted to introduce
do you want
myself.
the time of the meeting too?
What time was your meeting? I apologize.
6 p.m.
Thank you.
March 25th in the community room
Thank you.
at 6 p.m.
you don't have enough to do already?
No,
Okay. You must have had one free night, huh?
I did.
We just have some
Secure that.
committees here for you to join some of our committees.
Your emblem in there looks familiar.
Yes,
Tells my age.
me too.
Okay. No comments?
No.
If you want to speak up, just raise your hand and get my attention. I have no problem. I'll let the rest of the board does. Read minutes of last meeting, 1/8/20.
I will make a motion to approve 1/8/20 public hearing minutes with corrections that have been sent to Tammy.
Second.
Now, did anybody correct who Jerry Gregoire is? He's superintendent in Wakefield on page 2.
Page
On the
2.
bottom, superintendent. We have contacted Superintendent Jerry Gregoire. Is that right, Earl?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't make a call, didn't make appointments. Right there somewhere.
I wrote Jerry.
What needed
except
to
for the
be
J.
changed?
I'm sorry?
What needed to be
I think he
changed?
just wants to add the word superintendent.
Superintendent.
Oh, superintendent,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
He
thank you.
got the certificate, so he ought to get the credit.
All right,
Education.
thank you.
I mean, I don't blame anyone.
Superintendent.
Okay. Any more corrections other than that? Paul?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Aye.
All right, Wednesday, January 8th, the non-public.
I will make a motion to approve the non-public with no corrections.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We got any, Paul?
Aye.
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 If you abstain
Are
from
you
the others, should
abstaining?
you abstain?
Well, no, because this one here,
This
I,
one says you're excused.
right, and the
because
other one,
This one says.
the date's gotta be wrong. No, this is the date for Monday, and I was there.
This is January 8th.
Well, the one I have in front of me
You
is January.
skipped one.
Oh, I skipped one? Okay, then okay, abstain.
Aye.
Now we'll go to Monday the 6th.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Give the page number, my phone, not yours. Page 8.
I will make a motion to approve the special warrant article meeting minutes of January 6th. There were some corrections that I did send to Tammy.
Second.
Second?
Anybody else have any questions? Paul?
Aye.
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 All right. Moving on, Earl, you were on.
Excellent. Actually, tonight, I am going to share 4 and 5, because we'll get Jan out of here early, so she doesn't have to listen to me. There's enough of me all the time. So I'll turn it over to her, who's done a fantastic job on the
Oops.
study.
Over there, your pen.
I didn't give you one name. I just want to go down through our program of studies for next fall. It's just a few changes from the current. Right, so page 2 is our first change. Actually, this one's going to request.
You were on page 2, I do have a question. How are we working out on those 20 hours? Are we meeting that goal?
Yep, some are. I'm actually meeting with seniors tomorrow. There's a few who don't believe that even though it's in the policy that says they won't graduate without 20, they think, they're not really gonna not have me graduate without 20. So myself and Ms. Burrows are meeting with them tomorrow to let them know that, no, the policy says you will have 20. I cannot certify you for graduation, and the board chair will not sign your diploma if you do not have your 20 hours. So we'll be reminding them of that. But some students have in excess of 20 already, so I just...
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, go ahead, thank you.
So the computer education credit, currently we have 1 credit. We would like to change that down to a half credit. That matches what a lot of other schools are doing. And it provides the students opportunities for more electives. It is in our policy IKF, so we'd have to revise the policy. So right now we've left it at 1 credit, but we requested the policy committee discuss IKF, maybe moving computer requirements to a half credit for students. For now we'll leave it at that.
Do you have anything else that you want to, they're still going to be required to make 7?
Yes, they would still need 7 credits of elective. They still would need a total of 24 credits. That would not change.
Okay, all right.
Currently, all 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are also in a quarter of integrated computer technology. We would like to change, though, down for requirements for promotion. We're not sure why it's 5, 11, and 17. Nobody really had memory of that. That requires seniors then to get all 7 credits to get to 24. We'd just like to make it 6, 12, 18, 24, 6 every year. So is it okay if we make that change? So in order to be promoted to the next grade, high school students would have to earn 6 credits each year. And that would put them on track for the 24 for
So
seniors.
6, 12, and 18, you said?
6, 12, 18, 24.
Now, you need a motion from us to do that, or?
Yes, I'd like your approval to make that change. You guys approved this book, so we'd like to change that to be 6, 12, 18 from 5, 11, 17.
Okay, does the board have any questions, or do you want to do it now before we get?
Yep.
What's that, I'm sorry?
I agree.
So you're making that a motion?
I'll make that a motion.
Second.
Okay, let me get you down here. Okay. Do we have any discussion? Any parents up there want to add anything on that? Okay. Peg?
Aye.
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 Hey, all right, that's out of
All
the way.
right, there are no more changes until page 7.
Okay. Go ahead.
Page 7, English 10, all they did was add a line to the end where it says honor students will compete in all academic contests. So in English 10, if you're going to take honors English 10, you would have to compete in the Voice of Democracy competition to get the honors credit. That's the only credit change there. Now I'm just going to go through the changes and you guys can approve the whole thing. As is, okay? Next changes are pages 10 and 11. We're adding a practical math 1, practical math 2. So this year we did add a practical math 1. We're finding it is very beneficial for the students who took it. What we'd like to do is do a track where freshman year students on the TP track could take Algebra 1 their freshman year and then practical math 1, practical math 2 to continue that. It would strengthen their algebra skills, and again, it's an application of algebra and geometry into their real life. So it's bottom of page 10, top of page 11.
Use algebra in real life? Yeah, sorry, I'm not there yet. I was still with
As a teacher, that's all I ever heard.
You skip ahead?
Right? That's the only change in math. On page 14, and it's page 14 and 16. Currently, economics, it's mostly our juniors and seniors, but some sophomores were able to take it, as well as crime and punishment. That's a new course this year. We allowed sophomores to take it, and we're finding that some of the content is a little, I'm sorry.
I got a question on page 15.
Yeah.
The note, you got a note in the middle of
Little
photocopy.
post-it.
Post it.
I left the
Do we
post-it.
request
I
grades?
didn't make the photocopy.
Thanks, 12, for appropriate to
I think we should
material.
keep it in there.
Oh, so that's basically what I said.
We have
That's your riddle, that's your riddle. She got that from Larry Brown, that trick from Larry Brown,
Okay,
right?
great, I'm sorry.
That's fine, so he's
Fill it
finding
in.
that,
The
Mr.
riddle,
Dewey's finding that the
the
content
fill
of
in
the
the blank.
economics and his crime and punishment class are a little advanced for the sophomores. He wants to limit that to juniors and seniors. So we'll just be changing economics and crime and punishment to be for juniors and seniors. So that's page 14 and 16. Page 17, Spanish. The only thing that changed there is she removed a portfolio requirement, so it used to say all Spanish 1 students had to create a portfolio. She just removed that from the course description, basically. Otherwise, everything else is the same. On the bottom of page 17, with the intro to business class, we added that this is a project running start course. What that means, it allows students to get college credit by taking the course with us. In order to do that, the teacher has to be certified by a college, and the syllabus has to be approved to be a college level course, which it has been. So we went through the process with Great Bay Community College, signed all the paperwork. Ms. Baker is certified by them. She teaches for them also. So students, we need at least 3 students to enroll in the Project Running Start when they take the course, and they will get 3 college credits at no cost to them at all.
Oh, that's great.
So we're just adding the line that this is a Project Running Start course that allows them to do that. So I'm looking at what other courses we can do that with. Hers was an easy one to start with because she already teaches it at Great Bay. And then at the top of page 18, adding an additional computer programming class. She went to training over the summer for coding and computer programming. So this year she's offering the introduction to programming. So she'd like to add an additional course next year for the students who took that, another computer programming class.
Another question for me.
Yes.
So how are we doing with our computers?
Which ones?
Functional and non-functional and,
So the ones in her room are still pretty good, the ones that she's using for the computer programming class. We currently have a grant, a CSI grant in process, trying to buy a few more, but it won't even be a full cart, so we're just trying to get some spares to replace some on the cart.
no, but you have the total amount on that grant, by any chance?
That grant is only $32,000, and we're only gonna use maybe $8,000 of it to try to get some spare computers.
Okay. What will the rest of the money be used for?
We're using some for our literacy coach, we're using some for some interventions for math and ELA.
So we are definitely reaching out for grants.
Yes,
Okay, all right,
and if we get that $32,000 approved, then we can apply for some additional money, but we have to get that approved first.
first. Okay, all right, thank you.
So that's it for page 18, and actually that's the last change. Everything else is the same as last
Now
year.
now you want a whole motion for the whole thing?
Now I'd like a motion.
You could have told me that, Doug, can you just please wait?
I'll make a motion, Doug.
Okay, anybody, got a
I'll
second?
second that.
Okay. Now, any more discussion? Okay,
Aye.
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 all right,
Aye.
got it, thank you very much for coming in.
Starting the scheduling process.
You know what?
Yes, please.
I just happened to thumb through on the last page, the career technical education programs at the 3 different schools, Dover, Rochester, and Somersworth. I think that's really cool to have in.
Yep, and right now, we have only one student going to Rochester, the others are all going to Dover.
Who's cooking?
I know.
It's making me hungry.
I can't smell.
Can't smell that?
So, would you give that figure again for the minutes? I want,
We have one student, one CTE student going to Rochester, and all the others, and I don't have an exact number on that, because I know we talked about 12, but I know one student's no longer doing it. But the rest are all going to Dover.
I think maybe, I don't know, 11, that'd be good enough.
Somewhere around 11, 10.
Estimate, put it on an estimate.
Estimate 10.
It's like, do not hold me to that.
No, sir, I
Don't
won't.
quote me on an exact number.
No, I won't, I promise, I promise. Earl, you still up?
Hey, 2 themes that I'd like to address tonight. One is teamwork in all veins. The first one is the PDP plan that the staff worked on last year, Paris. We developed it November 1, I believe, 2018. We worked throughout the year. The staff it came out various times and so forth, including when we looked at the contract for last year. The staff felt that they had not had input in the professional development that they had, the plan they had. There was a host of concerns because they felt that the teachers and the paraeducators did not have a voice in it. We had an extraordinary group. We worked very hard throughout the year. And the fruits of it are being seen throughout this year because everyone is on board. Everybody's on the same page. Everyone had a say in what it was, so they now feel a part of it in whether it succeeds or not. So that's probably one of the most enjoyable things that brings me back in my 51st year, is to work as a team and to develop that. Now, this year, we have the portrait of a graduate, and this being here on the school board has been an invaluable part of it and done a great job. Actually, Jan was ill last time. Actually, we have a number of people. We have Al Goodwin is right here. He's the profile of the graduate group. And Larry Brown and Emily is part of it. And let me see, Emily Terry. And so I will have, in working as a team, we had a facilitator last time that did an excellent job. Do you want to? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but you can.
do every time. It's fine.
Well, we share it,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Okay, why don't you kind of?
Well, last time we got together, we had, so the first time we brainstormed some of those things we were all hoping to see from a new graduate, and then that information went out in a survey. And so this time when we got back together, we had the survey results, so we were more fine-tuning, figuring out what we see best fitting at Newt between what we think, what the survey said, and so we narrowed it down quite a bit. Even got so far as talking about potentially some graphics and how it would appear to people. So we made some progress, and it's a really great group of people to work with. There's a lot of, and it's interesting, there was a lot of like-mindedness on the surveys too. A lot of the group's top were also the top in the survey, and some values were clear winners. So making progress.
And it was impressive. 92 folks had made those out.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the input back, and we tried to embed it and overflowed it to where we were. And I think that it came out very well in terms of what the committee had come up with in the groups they had. And you might want to touch on the four snapshots that we have now. The 4 pictures, one with the paw.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So
Ram, rather.
What we split into, after talking about it a little bit and looking at the results of the survey, we split into 4 groups, and each group tried to consolidate some of the things we had brainstormed and figure out what's the best way to communicate our values. And like I said, there was a lot of overlap, but how each group presented it was a little different. And one of our favorites was a ram, focusing on sort of the 2 horns, thinking in two ways. Who we are and what we do, so we can focus on who a graduate is and what they can do, and then listing underneath those horns some of the things we'd like to see. So it's certainly not done yet. We had a tree, we had some webbing, but I think the ram was the clear winner in the group, and so we're just getting some feedback from people that couldn't be there. And I think next time we meet, we'll be able to finish it up, decide for sure, and then we can start being able to communicate what we've come up with a little
It's
bit better.
about 2-3 weeks, February, early Feb.
I think it's February 4th, I think.
Yeah, she'll send the thing out to the committee and
Yeah.
make sure folks can make it and
Yeah.
everything, and it works out really ideally, and we've had great participation. It's been great. Thank you all for your roles in this. It's very enriching. And the next feasibility, it's kind of a political football right now, but we're going to go at it. We're going to get the facts. It's going to be transparent. We're going to have somebody take the notes. We're going to work at it as a team, and we're going to do the best we can for the kids and come up with all the facts that we can. There's a little change in composition. We're going to only have 1 school board member and 1 administrator, and I'm going to be one of the co-facilitators of it, like I've been in the other, and as the committee gets together, we'll have some community people. All the community people that, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to recommend this to the board next time when we have all the names, anyone that's signed up now, come on board. Let's be inclusive. If people care enough to be a part of it, then come on board. And I don't mind large groups because I'd rather move the fences out and have people have a say and be a part of things than say we're gonna have this amount. If you care enough, you've got a hold of me, then fine. You know, it just shows that you care. And you gotta love the people who care and want to work as a team. But it's gonna be the same thing. We're gonna be a team, we're gonna get the information, we're gonna be thorough, and we're gonna ensure that everyone has a say and take away some of the the stuff around it, you know. Okay, and then the other part is the teams have been doing a fantastic job. Coach, the boys coach Bordeaux, the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade girls coach Mrs. Thurlow, and Reggie Pinnell have been fantastic. I can't commend Al Goodwin enough. I was so thrilled when I saw the cheerers there. You know, to me, spirit has been the thing that I have loved about schools the most. The kids, when I went back, they're old folks now. I went back to the reunion, I spoke for them in the class of 1978, and they remembered behind my desk, the "Are You Psyched" sign. So so to me, a school is not a school unless the spirit is there. And I can't commend Tom and Reggie and Al in the group. They really resurrected it. Mrs. Pam has put some great things. It's nice to see happy, positive things and, you know, celebrating student staff success, because really that's what we're here for. We're trying to catch people being good and not being bad. It isn't a one-upmanship where, you know, I got you. Everybody can walk around and be judgmental and say, I would have done this better, but it's a spectator sport, and person in the stands, you know, tells the student how to be on the court, play on the court, tells the ref how to ref, tells the coach how to coach. But how about supporting the people there? So I think that that's the key. And I'd like to thank all of those folks and the more folks that have been a part of the spirit and the team, which is what we're all about.
All set? All right. Down this school board business, I included the deed from the new high school and library there. It's an FYI for E. That's all it is. We want to be transparent. Now, the next thing is, we need volunteers to do it's the handout that he needs to do to combine with the town. Is everybody happy the way it's written? That's
The final one's good, yes.
well, the only thing that needed to be changed, it was 12 teachers.
Yep,
We got that straightened out.
yep.
Now,
Did we change it?
Well,
Right now, this one still says 23.
but he changed it in the handout,
yeah, the handout's changed.
but this copy is not. We had 2 people that came forward and were willing to take the blame. Glad I wasn't alone.
I did have a few recommendations.
Okay, wait a minute. Go ahead.
And to be aware, you know, to the best of our knowledge, those are people that could. It doesn't mean they will. You know, some of them may work until they're as old as me. So just because they can doesn't mean they will. So you got 12, doesn't mean you're gonna have 12. You might only have 3 or 4.
You could
So,
have more.
what?
You could have more too.
Yeah, but people, okay, I won't go there.
Hey, go ahead, Nate. I'm sorry. What page are you on?
Page 15,
Go ahead.
article number 8, it was suggested that we put down that the town does not have time or resources to file school.
Yep.
I have no problem with that.
I made that suggestion last weekend, because every time we bring up a maintenance vehicle, it's always brought up, why doesn't the town plow the school? And the town's always come back and said they barely have time for their own roads, never mind, they have to have the school done by a certain hour, at a certain time of day, and it'll have all salt and sand and everything. They just don't have the resources to do it.
Well, they probably end up having to have 2 trucks and 2 drivers in reality.
That's why we need to put that in, that the town.
making that a
it's-
motion?
it's- Yes,
I'll second it. Anybody have any more discussion on that?
Time for personnel?
both. It's
Time and
Time
resources.
time and resources, right.
'Cause we need 2 people now. Right now, if they only have 1 person done, I don't think they're gonna make it. Like, I didn't think the policy committee would make it tonight either.
Oh, we did.
Yes, you did. I tried to trip you up. but
You
didn't.
did.
I know, who
Smells
has
delicious
food?
in
I'm
here,
like
so.
dying over here.
Is that?
Oh, it's your food. I'm going,
It smells real good in here, yeah.
As usual.
it's a good diet. I can
Anything
smell
else
it.
on that one?
That's it, aye.
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 Got
Okay.
sidetracked.
What else you
No,
got, Nate?
sorry.
To
Are you
go,
okay?
a piggyback on that, we had a resident mention that we should put down in that same article that any funds not used to purchase the vehicle will be given back to the town.
Well, we have several like that. Is there any way we can make a broad statement? Because that applies to all special warrant articles,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Oh, we can
However you want to do it. it's
put the
fine.
sentence for each one.
Okay, is that what you want
Just
to
add
do?
a sentence to each article.
That's your
I
motion?
would
I'll do it at the
put it
end.
on
Yes,
each one.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, can you tell me what it says again, please? What
All
they're
leftover
requesting?
monies will be returned to the town.
If not spent on a special warrant article.
Okay.
Do I have a
Yep.
second?
Second.
Okay, Pen. Any more discussion?
Yep. Did you raise your hand?
Oh,
I was just gonna make the comment that the longer you make those articles,
I
the
know.
less chance it's gonna get read.
Not get read. Yeah, well, I think somebody else made that motion and we changed the language and how we wrote those warrant articles too. We don't know if the DRA, we don't think we're gonna have any problem with the DRA.
Oh,
Oh, well, let me finish this one. This is the same one?
well, it was just comment on the DRI.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Just FYI, they suggested we put it back the way it was, but it wasn't required.
That's
So I
always,
left it the same.
I'd leave it the same.
Yeah.
If we don't have to
Yeah.
do it by law.
Yeah.
Board okay with that?
Yep.
I make a motion that we leave it like it is.
I thought we still have to do the high for the other motion, right?
Oh, I thought we did. We didn't do it?
Oh my God.
I know, what?
Policy was like that
Right
today
here.
too,
I
fortunately.
missed
Yes, motion, yes.
All the monies left over will be
Oh,
returned to
sorry.
the town. We never did that.
He got ahead of me here. Okay,
Aye.
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 I got you up.
okay, go ahead with the other one.
The last one that I have.
No, wait a minute. You want to leave the motions the way the warrants the way they're written.
Who seconded it?
Oh, to the DRA.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Did you make that motion, Paul? No.
No, nobody did that.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you guys already voted on it.
Yeah, we already got that.
We're gonna leave it.
So I'm not going to do anything.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm just going to leave it the way it was.
Okay, go on.
The last one's Article 11. I quickly wrote this, so I changed it a little bit to say this article is to add funding to the school bus trust fund set up in 1993 for the purpose of replacing buses. And then saying doing this will eliminate high and low spikes, and it just goes on and on.
But did you want to put that dollar? You don't.
So
no.
basically, I had it changed to explain that we've had this fund since 1993.
Yeah, because the way it was originally written, sorry, Doug.
Go ahead. No, go
The
ahead.
way it was originally written was to set up a trust fund, or the way it says something about to set up. It sounded like it was
It does, yeah.
that we're just setting it up now for buses, and it's
Yeah.
been there since 1993. So last weekend I suggested we change the wording of that to make it known it's an established trust fund. We're not setting anything up. We had to change the initial wording. That's all.
Well, I'm glad we're on 11 because I talked to Tim. And we have him and I, for 11, we have a handout. And it's in its infancy, and I'll give one to. And he's going to type it, and it'll be at the handout. Earl knows about it.
Oh, was that
Earl
mine?
knows about it.
This is?
No, I can. We got two here.
We're all set.
Yeah, I'll say. How many more? Two more. Got a couple extra. Okay. 'Cause it hasn't been out there, so this is what Tim and I talked about. Tim has contacted the Ford garage, the Toyota garage, and the Dodge garage. All right? And the estimate on that van is $27,000. Okay, the interest for that, to do what you want to do here, to purchase, is $3,000. And that'll raise that purchase up to $30,000. Now, he gave me here a rough estimate what it would cost to buy a maintenance agreement for that truck. Anywhere from $1,500 to $6,000. And what needs to be found out is what we're ordering so they can go back in and be able to narrow down what maintenance plan we need. Because there's two different types. One is for oil and one is for maintenance, okay? And that's the rough that Tim gave me. The other thing he wants on this, I talked to him, he said buses should be placed every 10 years and or 25,000 miles.
250.
I got 250, thank you for correcting me.
So 25,000, whew.
Okay, all right, a long time. Now, to drive the big yellow buses, you have to have a CDL. That bus costs anywhere from $80,000 to $90,000. They are able to do that with a lease purchase, but what comes with that is a maintenance agreement. All right? Now, that's our one driver. We have two different types of drivers. I didn't really realize this until the other day. We have a operator slash plus a bus certificate, which requires 10 hours of training minimum. Now, what Tim does, he trains both his bus drivers. Certificates are a CDL longer than that. Now, the vans on mileage, it's gasoline, it's 22 miles. Okay? That's a regular van that works. Now, what you're able to do, what I left out on the big bus, they carry 77 passengers. Now, we have a little yellow bus, which the operator can operate, and the CDL could also. But that bus is for 15 students or less. Now, on those yellow buses, you can get them in gas, which gets 19 miles per gallon, and the diesel gets anywhere from 14 to 13. Now, ended in August 2014, we had a SIG grant, and the state gave us $2.4 million. And that's when tell me if I'm wrong, Nate, correct me, because I do make mistakes. We got $2.4 million. He bought a bus back then under that grant for 30 passengers. Now, right now, we don't have to pay the state and federal taxes. So when we go to get gasoline, it's $2.27, and we can go down here at Cumberland Farms with Wicks. All right? Now, if you want diesel, that's $2.29, and what you do, you go to Rochester, you have to go to the state barn for the diesel. Well, and the other place that's got diesel that he told me that he goes to is the Irving Station in Farmington. And this is a handout we'll be handing out on the big day, the regular session. So Tim is typing it up, and we've worked it out the last couple of days. So that applies to our warrant article 11. And I do have other handouts that I've made, and I think I've given them to the board members, I've given them to the budget committee, and they will be at the deliberative session to be seen and read.
Which is on February 8th at 1 o'clock over up at Newt in the cafeteria, just so everybody knows.
And we're working on babysitting.
Huh?
And we're working on having babysitting.
Oh, nice.
days.
And they're working on babysitting.
Okay?
Do we have to do a motion still on that?
On what?
About changing it to 1993, the wording of Article 11?
Okay, if you want to, yeah, I do it.
Oh, so
You
done.
changing it? It's your idea.
It's to what he wrote, right? So I'll make a motion to that, yeah, to what,
If you like it, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we still have to do the raise and appropriate. Okay, I'll second that to discuss it.
Okay, it was just Article 11, right?
Just Article 11, yeah, I just wanted to, we're not setting it up now, it's been established.
Okay.
It's been established since '93, that's all I wanted to say, it's not, we're not setting it up now, just to reword that.
Okay.
Paul?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
it's done. Anything else, Nate?
No, with those corrections, I'm gonna send it out and it'll be on its way.
So, I know we passed that, but, so they were pretty receptive over at the DRA on our, the way we wrote
They
it?
only sent it for the first one,
Didn't care about-
which ended up being Article 6, and just said, I suggest you do it this way to avoid confusion. but there's different levels of necessity as far as changing them,
Okay.
and that was just a suggested one, so I
Okay.
didn't bother.
Now, C is our meeting on, in Wakefield on 2/4/20.
Can I just ask one question for page 20?
Go ahead.
It says does not recommend 5 votes, can that not be 05?
I think they go by
Yeah,
Yes.
it's,
the majority that
Yeah,
did
the
or
budget
didn't.
committee does not recommend
Yes,
2/5,
it should be
not 5.
changed.
Oh, okay.
I had it 0 to 5 before. You told me to change it to 5 to
No, it
0.
was 5 to 0, and I told you to change it to 0.
No, it was 0 to 5 before.
This is what I
I
collected.
guarantee you.
Yeah.
One of the two should change.
Okay, change one of them.
It should be 0.
May have to separate somebody.
We don't usually sit together either.
And this is why.
Yeah. I'm always the buffer.
All right,
got
so
here
it
early.
should be,
0.
in my mind, it should be 0-5.
Yes.
Yes,
It should
mine
be.
too.
Mine also.
All
What
right,
page
Make sure.
you on?
Page
That
20.
just,
Fine.
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I gave you that correction. I really did.
Yeah, you probably did.
All right.
Thank you, Nate.
So we all set with this?
Mr. Brown had a
Oh, on
question.
which one? This one or down here?
Doug.
Must have
Larry
read it
Brown.
wrong.
Sorry, Larry.
What is the structure of the sentence? If the sentence reads, the budget committee does not recommend, then the order of the vote would be, does not recommend 5 of the budget committee, does not recommend 0 in favor. If the sentence reads, the budget committee recommends, and it is 5 to 2, then 5 is understood to be the budget committee recommends 5, 2 against. Right? I can't tell by ear what you were reading.
I know what you're saying, Larry.
Yeah,
One
but
of
both.
these two needs to
So it's like a
It should be 5-0.
either if
Is
this
it both of them
five,
or
so that one should be 5-2.
up there and there? Or just there?
No,
All
this
right,
recommends,
so
this
leave it
does not
5-0,
recommend.
But then the budget committee
add more
needs
of
to
this.
change 5-2. Because you're saying they do not recommend it by a vote of 5-2.
5 of them did not recommend.
Yeah, so you gotta flip-flop the 5
They
to
were
2.
majority.
That makes sense. Because this is the only one that
Double
says does
negative.
not, all these others say do. So either that or
So
change it,
it's
the
vote
recommends
going-
it 0 to
All right,
5.
I get it.
Yeah.
This time I'm not gonna
What the
click.
hell are you holding in your
The
hand?
school board is not recommending it 5-0, budget committee's not recommending
holding
it
your
5-2.
hand?
Do you
Right.
think it makes
I
like
sense to
to
have the
write
wording
left-handed.
different from all the other warrant articles? I think this is gonna be very confusing to voters, like,
That's what I was thinking. Just leave it as the budget committee recommends,
Recommends.
and then do 2 to 5. Just take that not recommend out.
or the not needs to be like bold and underlined, so people understand that it is structured in a different way. I mean, why is it structured in a different way other than the,
I think we should make it uniform. It should be uniform with all the rest.
So you're saying take the not out?
Take the nod out of both of them?
Recommends this appropriations 0 to 5.
not recommend?
Oh, I don't know, it's
I
hard
like
with a
that
0
better, though.
vote, but I
What?
mean, yeah.
I like it better that it's all uniform. It says recommends, and then it says 2 to 5. I think that's more clear. In my mind, that's more clear.
A lot of people don't.
And then recommend 0 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to change the wording on even on ours.
No,
It's
the rest
just
of
this
them are
one article
okay.
that's
It's
the
just that
problem.
one.
Talking about Article
But both lines, yeah.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, Article 2 is the only one that's written like that.
Well, that was I think my original motion, not to recommend it. But
Whatever
you
you
can
guys
still
want me to
accomplish
do.
the same thing
Larry's
by
gonna
going
give
the
us
other
more
way.
input.
One more lash on the horse. If there were no numbers attached, the primary interest of the budget committee would be not to recommend it. And the primary view of the budget committee is not to recommend it.
So we could just write, the school board does not recommend this appropriation, period. The budget committee recommends the appropriation 2 to 5.
You have,
As far as I understand it, you have to have the votes in it.
yeah.
Okay.
The numbers are there. I say the main thought is carried by the words themselves. does recommend, does not recommend. And then the detail of the numbers comes second. But in 5 years,
All right, we all
So
set
if they
with,
put the school board recommends this 0 to 5, are people gonna think it means they recommend it? Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Even
it
though it
needs to
says
be
zero
not
to 5.
recommend,
Right.
and then 0, 5. Or,
Just,
I don't know.
just,
Just leave it.
Whatever you guys want me to do.
we leaving it?
in 5 years.
Because usually when you do this, the first number is the yes,
Yeah,
the second number is no, and the last number is abstained.
Yes.
Correct. That's how it is in mine,
It's
right?
supposed to be.
yeah.
Under
So
Robert's-
it's, yeah, so it's what Larry said, the school board one is correct,
Yeah, I gave up a long time.
At what, 5 to 0 or 0 to 5?
5 to 0, because you guys did not
5
recommend
yeses,
it.
0
Oh,
no's.
so we voted yes, we
Voted
do
yes,
not
not to
recommend it.
recommend.
Oh, God.
Go ahead, I can't see it, go ahead.
Is it possible to just like make, instead of just having numbers, say 5 not recommend, 0 recommend, so that it's very clear what each number is for? I don't know. I mean, I know that adds words, but I don't think it's clear.
Well-
And I think we can switch it around, and I still think half the people there aren't gonna find it.
I do think you can do that.
Well,
Put 5 yes, 0 no?
You can do 5 recommend, 0 don't.
5
Do
not
not.
recommend, 0 recommend.
You mean in the parentheses?
Yeah.
Well, when I go to the deliberative session, I'm gonna declare that I don't recommend this article.
I think just keep the wording clear and then put the votes in the order that votes are always listed in.
Yeah, just keep it.
No one's thinking that much about it.
So leave it where it is?
No one is thinking that much.
They
about
know
it.
what they're gonna do.
Okay.
If I was looking, I'd be like, oh, they recommend, they don't recommend, got it.
But I still have to switch the budget committee.
Well, that's up to you. You can have that argument with them. Okay, whatever they want to do. Okay, now have we agreed that we're putting the estimated tax impact on everything and even on the warrant? Are we okay with that?
But that last page I liked,
I think I already did that, right?
and just the
I think I
last
did see it,
one.
but I don't see it.
yeah, I like that page.
Yeah, the total, because I could not change it when I made recommendations, but it's bigger, it's bolder, so that we see the actual tax impact of 21 cents.
On that.
Yeah, on this one.
But are we still gonna leave it on the warrant, each warrant?
I did
Yeah.
add it back.
Okay, because that's the way the town does it.
Yeah, we want it on each one.
Yeah, we do, the way we wrote it, okay. All right, I just want to be clear on that, okay. So we're all done with, oh, I guess it was, okay. We're still doing the handout. And moving on, I'm gonna move on to Wakefield.
Can I just make a comment, though, what you just said about, I'm just thinking, this one really makes it very clear what each one of the warrant article, what the tax effect is. But the bottom line, I think, is very important, where I know last year, when we had the tax impact of the operating budget, people freaked
Yeah.
because it had the total amount without looking at everything else. And this is a more representative figure of what it's gonna cost taxpayers
More.
rather than,
More.
right, more. But if they see, I think last year it was what, $14 and something,
Yes.
but it was, and people just looked at it and went, whoa. And it was like, no, I don't want that, no, I don't want that.
So you're not opting to change anything? You're gonna leave it like that, is that?
Yeah, I like this where you get the
Yes.
full bottom
Yes.
line.
Yeah, so do I. I think that's what we
Is
just,
this
Yeah,
gonna
that's what we
be
just said. We're not
printed out
changing that,
For
yeah.
the deliberative session?
yes.
We're not gonna, yeah, we're gonna keep
But
that.
when we put the warrant
They'll be
articles
printed
on the
out.
ballot, are we going to put the dollar of the
Yes.
tax impact?
I
Estimated,
think you,
yes.
yeah, estimated everything. I think we discussed that Saturday.
But I think that's what I'm saying, is that if we see the total amount for the operating budget, I think people are gonna just freak when they see it.
But it's on that form there you're looking at.
No, I know, but this shows the bottom line, whereas
Why
on the
can't add that
ballot.
To the ballot.
No,
This
I
whole
know,
thing?
I know, and that's why I'm saying this is really key to people
Nate has
to
an
look
answer.
at.
Nate has an answer.
Go ahead.
Nate has an answer.
for that exact reason, we didn't put it on the operating budget in the warrant article,
Okay.
because there's a lot of revenues that come in that take off that amount.
Right, I know.
So we just left that out.
Okay, so it's just all the other,
So if they want to know what the impact is for the operating budget, the only way they're going to see it is here
okay.
for the estimated amount.
All right, so all of these others
The
will
little
go,
ones
all
are
right,
on
good.
the warrant
Okay,
article.
never
And
mind,
again,
then I have no
this'll be-
problem.
This will be at the deliberative
Yeah.
session. I'll
Yes.
have a copy.
Yes.
So
Okay,
everybody
okay,
knows.
we're set.
Good.
Let's do it.
Nate just clarified it for me, so it's,
Okay.
it's good.
So
Yep,
we're-
thank
so,
you, Nate.
Now, now, who is going to go to Wakefield with me? Melissa?
I'll go.
Anybody else?
Okay.
Okay, well, it's been posted as a joint board meeting. I don't know how if they're gonna handle it non-public and seal it, but we will, if we can take minutes and bring them back, we'll do it. I don't know how they're handling it.
It's a Tuesday
Yes.
Yes,
at
2:14
6 or whatever.
at 6 PM, I think it
I'll
is.
see if I can, yeah.
Okay,
Okay, Ken.
you all, I'll check it, Kathy had it all written weeks ago, because I lined this up with the superintendent, Jerry Weglaw. She had it all ready to go, so I'll make sure it's posted appropriately. All right?
Yep.
So we all set. I guess people in Milton are invited, if it's public, you can come on up. Okay, the next one is D. Who wants to do warrant articles?
Make a motion, Doug, do Article 2.
What's Article 2?
That's the budget.
Second that.
The one we just talked about.
Well,
You said you're gonna bring that up and how we don't approve and all that, so you can be our spokesman on that one, Doug.
yeah, all right,
I'll second that.
Number 3 is gonna be Peg, right?
I guess you're not
Peg
doing
will be 3.
okay, all right, let me get my name on that one for you.
I know.
Put Peg's name down.
I know.
If you can't be there, that's fine.
Number 4 is just to add a special meeting. We have
Well,
to
I'll just add that too.
just add that to you.
Yep.
We adding that one to who?
Peg did the special meeting too, that's,
Peg's on
P for
her.
Paul, see?
Yeah, Peg.
Paul. P for Pete. Paul.
Who wants to do the library?
You know what, I'll do the library, I mean, it's easy too.
okay.
I'm up there.
Okay, that takes us over to 6.
Is it 6 too?
No.
I'll do 6.
Okay.
Done a lot of research on this one.
I'll do 7 and 8.
Go ahead,
I
Matt.
do like conflict.
You like conflict?
Yeah.
Oh,
Paul? 8, Paul. I do have material for you. if you like. Okay, that leaves
9's education
9.
for, yeah, just,
Key line.
that's the special ed one?
What's that one?
I did that one last year.
Yeah.
You want that one?
Yep.
Okay, it's 50.
I'll do 10.
Paul wants 10. Let me get your name down there. Now,
who's doing
11, Doug?
yes, I'll do the bus. I got the information on that one.
And 12, who wants to do 12?
Sorry.
It's 12.
Really? You're gonna do it via teleprompter. We're gonna telework.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants 12?
This is one for tech, for,
I did 12 last year.
hey, do it again then.
Okay, all right.
But Melissa,
There we go.
she did.
Oh, you wanna do
I'm
it?
doing 9.
I know you didn't have any.
Peg
How
gets,
do I?
Peg,
I'm gonna be
Emma's
there.
gonna be there.
You want 2, Melissa?
You'll be there to support?
Oh, I wouldn't wanna take away from Peg.
Oh, you can't.
She already had 3 or 4.
I'm doing
Doing
3.
12?
Ago.
I'm doing 3.
Who's doing 12?
Peg volunteered to do 12?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So guess we're all set. They all been assigned.
May I see yours? I just wanna make
Yep.
sure I have them all.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you didn't write down?
What, did my
Wanna
write
do it
down?
again, Rick? Doug is,
Doug is Article 2. Article 3 is Peg. What, you're on the wrong pages.
I am. I'm on the wrong one, it's different than yours, Article 4.
That's Peg. That's Peg. Yep, done.
Okay.
Yep,
Got
the
the rest.
yep. Yep, right.
There you go. Thank you.
well, I had put this one on for, what it was, is handling 91A requests and the procedure to submit them.
Mhm.
But I noticed in the policies that are coming up, there's been some minor changes in that. So,
And we tabled it to talk at the next policy meeting.
okay.
So we'll table this.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna say that there is if you want a copy, there is a 5-cent charge per copy. And, the law clearly states that, if you want copies, you come into the building during normal business hours, and you're more than welcome to look at the books and request anything you want. Anything that's, no, you can take both public and non-public. And we went through the non-public to make sure there was nothing in there that would cause a problem. Now, the problem we got, and I don't think you people realize it, we have a lot of sealed minutes, okay? So I called the New Hampshire School Board Association and tried to find the proper way to handle opening and doing sealed minutes. Now, they suggested over there's several ways to do it. One is have the policy committee handle it and have it non-public. That was one way. The other way is having an individual do it, okay, and send it forward to the school board. And the other way is have the superintendent do it. So I really didn't get a good answer how to handle how to view sealed minutes from there. So what I'm going to do is, Earl alluded it today, we're going to talk to our school attorney, and I want to do it proper. Okay, so
Just hold off on this for
this whole
now.
operation, okay? All I want to do is everything proper. Now, I do have one other thing for you on that subject, and I know it's not on here, but I just want to remind everybody, the New Hampshire School Board Association does put out a document that tells you how to do a non-public. And it tells you the proper way to seal minutes and the 3 reasons, and I put that in your packets. That has a total of 18 steps that you should follow. And I think it goes along with the law if you go into non-public. So I just read that. If the public would like a couple of copies, I have extra copies here. And all I want to do is follow the law. All right. Moving on. Now F is an easy one. I gave you a copy of this. What it is, it looks like this, and there's 23A on it and 6F. All right. And what it is what's happening. This document is the money we give back to the town every year at the end of the year, on June 30th of each year. And there's a misconception about it, okay, from the budget committee. Well, I don't want to say anything more about that, but I think what we need to do, and I'd like a motion to discuss. I make a motion that we discuss this. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. And what it is, I think we ought to break it down. That money, instead of giving one great big number. 'Cause one year we gave back $481,000, and that was back in 2010. All right. I think that had to do something to do with insurance. Nate wasn't here back then. I think what we need to do is make column 1, have it be money from the leftover from the operating budget on June 30th. Okay? Then the next one, out of that money, we take out of our surplus, we take out money for warrant articles. So put a column there for warrant articles. And then the other thing is, there's revenue we get back, unanticipated revenue, which we cannot spend unless the voters give us permission, okay? And then you put the equal sign, and that gives you the total amount that you give back to the town at the end of each year on June 30th. And if you go look, those special warrant articles on your warrant are the ones that no, it's the other ones. The surplus is the ones that would fall under the column 2. And I don't know what the board wants to do, but that's my suggestion. And I think that would alleviate the problem for the budget committee for the future. If you don't want to make that change, I'm happy.
I'd like to hear what Nate has to say on it.
Go ahead, Nate.
Well, if I'm following you right, you're saying column 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 4. But that's not true.
No, it would be
Now 1 plus 2.
expenditure,
-2
income,
plus
and then
3.
total.
So that's only part of the equation.
What's the fourth column I left out?
Money that we hold on to
What
from
money?
year to year that goes back to the town.
I don't know about, and we have a fourth column?
Yeah.
Okay, then I didn't know that, okay. Well, we're gonna add a fourth column.
I
What
want
do
to
you
make sure
wanna
Nate
call that?
gets this, the way he needs to get it, so it's.
You understand
so
what I'm
it's-
saying here?
It's transparent, but it's not crazy off the wall
Yeah,
with
it's
a
not
1,000
difficult.
columns.
It's gonna be the same thing I give you guys that shows every year, the fund balance. It's just gonna be very simple.
It is, but this is where we're having the problem when they see.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
Are
You want it
for
broken
this,
down.
Are you for this idea or against this idea? Is it a good idea or a bad idea?
Okay,
Wait a minute, Peg, let me ask.
all right. The operating
Hey.
budget,
Peg, wait a
I'm
minute.
sorry, what?
She said, wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought,
Well, do you remember how the one that I sent you guys, the fund balance at the end of the year?
That still doesn't help us here.
It tells you exactly how I came up with the fund balance.
Should,
but that's,
But you're saying you want it simplified
well, the thing that
and
people saw that.
over different years.
No, I don't think we're gonna be able to do
Well,
it back too far. It's gonna be too much work. For the future going on, we should be able to do last year with no problem, and probably the year before, but I wouldn't go back any farther than
It won't
that.
take me long. I just need to know exactly what you're
Well,
looking for.
if you think you can do it, how long do you think it'll take you to do it? But you understand what I'm asking for?
I think so, yeah.
Well,
Next time you're in the office, we can go over it.
I'll be down here
He'll be there
tomorrow
tomorrow.
morning.
That was funny.
7:30.
I
That
won't
was
be there
funny.
tomorrow.
Al
Well,
has
I'll
a
be there.
question.
I'll get down because we have Peg there now.
Okay.
He'll be at your desk,
Just sitting at your desk.
but he's not at mine.
Might as well just do it.
Just do
okay,
it.
so,
Go ahead, Peg.
just so that I'm making sure, it's gonna be the operating budget,
Left over.
left over, so let's say we have $50,000 left over in the operating budget,
Yeah.
minus the warrant articles.
No, the warrant articles need to be added into that if you take it out of the
So she
surplus.
meant you're subtracting what's
You're
going
subtracting
into
it,
the
so we've
warrant.
got, we have $50,000 left over. We had warrant articles that were approved for 40,000. So that comes out of the surplus from the operating budget.
But that isn't gonna give you the right equal sign at the end.
Wait a minute. Plus any unanticipated revenue,
That's column 3.
that's column 3, and that equals the total that we give back to the town.
Well, he's got a fourth column.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nate.
The equation is fund balance from the previous year plus warrant articles from the previous year, because you have to take in consideration those, plus revenue minus expenses minus warrant articles.
I don't want it that detailed.
I don't know why we
Well,
need
that's
the
how you
fund
get the number.
balance. I don't know why we need the fund balance.
No, I'm talking about what's
The
left
fund
at the
balance
end.
is key.
Well, I know, we keep the money in the fund balance, but I mean, we don't give that back to the town.
When we say we give money back to the town, that's what that money is.
Yeah,
We're not
he knows.
technically
He
giving
knows.
it
Yeah,
back
he
to
saw
them.
it.
That's okay.
Why don't I work something
Okay,
up
all right.
and I'll run it by you and then we can bring it back to the
Okay,
board.
all right.
How
It's a
about that?
great idea.
All right.
Nate will-
Go ahead.
It's Alderman. Is the idea to further explain where that money comes from so there's a better understanding that it's not just we thought we needed this and oops, we didn't?
No. No, I don't know what that's talking about.
That's what I thought it was.
No, it isn't. Because
Yeah.
this is what we're giving back at the end of the year.
Right,
Right.
Doug, I think what he's saying is you wanna make sure that people understand that we didn't have $400,000 left in our budget at the end of the year.
That's-
We only had this much left, the other money came from here.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right.
That's what he
Yeah,
just
didn't have
said.
this
And then the
padded
total amount
budget.
is what we gave back.
Right.
I just wanted to clarify.
The phrase would be, what sloppy mismanagement did you come up with this year? Is what is being asked. And what Al is saying in terms of, I wrote down, this is not money given back to the town. This is unexpended tax funds returned to the general fund, as opposed to a give back. Give back, unfortunately, to my ear, has the sense that it is your blessing that the money has gone back in rather than a legally required return of unexpended tax funds. You've got your unexpended operating budget. If it is broken down by categories, you can see that we had an easy year on the water bill. we did not have to replace computers, whatever the topic is, that shows where the money in the operating budget is coming back. The detail line for the tax warrants show, for example, that we got the $40,000 truck and plow for only $37,000. $3,000 by our careful negotiation has been brought back to the taxpayer.
Let me ask-
Then you have the actions of third party and grants that are coming back in, and then you have the additional category, so that should be listed, that due to the fiscal year accounting of grant number whatever, this fund is being returned to the general fund because it was necessary to raise and appropriate it the first time. And then you have the last category that, what was your name again? That Nate brought up, which is somehow monies carried forward from a previous fiscal year.
Okay, thank you. You added up to now.
I just think
Got you confused?
it went from clarifying to more confusing.
Yes.
I honestly feel.
We need to let Nate do it and
Oh, I
then come
can't
back.
even write it.
Just let Nate do it and come back with an idea,
Yeah.
because
So-
it's making it worse.
That's what
The
we're doing.
idea is to
We will
simplify
work
it.
something out.
I
Hey.
think
Make
Nate
a
can
motion.
do something and
Make a
show
motion to
Make-
simplify.
Make do
I
it.
withdraw my
And
motion.
bring back to.
Put Nate on.
I'm on it.
Okay, that's all I'm
Nate.
putting.
Make a motion to simplify, yep.
I just
You
put
just-
Nate will work something up and bring back to school board.
I like it. Okay.
Moving on, old business to feasibility study.
I already did it.
Yep, he talked
I
about
was gonna
that.
say that, Earl.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, already on it. Thank you. Emily, you're up, you're B.
I wanted to revisit our conversation on budget. I know we had talked about when the budget committee made their recommendation to cut $177,000, and we voted to not approve that. But we also had kind of a lengthy discussion about the fact that I remember, Paul, you and I were looking for clarification. Does that mean, can we revisit it? No, we can't revisit it with the budget committee again necessarily, but we can go back and see what cuts we can make. And I was wondering if we could make some sort of commitment to maybe meet like halfway and say that we would try to look for like $88,000 in the budget that we could cut. Because obviously I want the best for our students, but I'm also a taxpayer whose property tax bill went up $135 a month. And so I understand that. And I also really want our teacher's contract to pass. And I just feel like that the odds are slimmer if with our budget being what it is. So I was hoping we could maybe try to reach a compromise. And give ourselves a goal to reach. Okay, we know we can't cut $177,000, but could we cut 88.5, which is like halfway?
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but technically, we've already cut, we technically, we could cut $27,000 because we had the van in the operating budget.
Okay.
So technically, is that not right, Earl?
Correct. So,
We're down to 150 right now. About 150, 176. So we don't need, we put the van on the warrant article, so we're okay with that. That's down to 150.
I was gonna say that.
Go ahead, Earl.
what I think in terms of good faith, and again, going back to the thing of teamwork, I think that everybody has a lens that they look at. So what I think she's trying to bring forth is that, the old fashioned, let's meet halfway. I want to buy the car for X amount, you want to give me this amount, let's meet in the middle and do our best. And, and I think that in terms of maybe when we get to the deliberative, that the restorative budget can be, what you're saying is maybe the board should throw the olive branch out and say, hey, let's all kind of work together. We're here for the students, we're here for the taxpayer, and we're doing that delicate dance of where are we gonna be? Because it's up to the board. It's worth the discussion, and then in turn the administrators would discuss it, and then we'd you know, as a result, if that was decided on February 8th, that was decided. I think the budget committee was pretty clear. I thought that, you know, you folks are the administrators and so forth, you would like to cut, you know, I don't want to use cut, but we'd like to be fiscally aware, and, you know, you decide where to get it from. So I think in the spirit of things, it's kind of saying, hey, you know, let's work together and turn the page, and hopefully, you know, there's going to be some pain, but there's no gain without pain, as they say.
Right.
You know, so.
Can I say something on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Last night at the planning board meeting, we had something similar. And one of the things I brought up is, we're not all working together. And this is a good way to start working together. And I think it's a very good recommendation, no matter what the amount is, that's up to you guys.
Right.
But I think all of us need to start thinking about not talking against each other, what can we do to work with each other?
Right.
Because that's a lot of our problems here in town.
Right. And trying to see all sides. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't be in the budget if we didn't think that it was important.
Right.
But we also, you know, it's a balancing act. And I will say, so it's sort of in my mind, two ways. I want to honor the taxpayers and the budget committee recommendations. And I really want a teacher's contract to pass for our teachers. And we have to make choices. And although some of the cuts might be painful, to me, in my mind, the priority is taking care of our teachers who take care of our students. So if we can do anything to help that, we should do it.
Now, I got a question for Nate. Compared to last year, did our tax rate go down for the school?
Yes.
By what? $1?
I think it was about $1, yeah.
So that means, with your school being prudent, compared to last year to what's coming up, well, maybe not prudent, because we probably saved, well, now you got a new figure, you probably saved $375,000. But the new figure now for your tax rate is $490,000 from now on.
From the assessment.
Has changed.
Yeah.
So we saved $1 last year, which is $375,000. Now, my taxes went up. I'm the both, you know, and I can, like I said before, I can find very few people that taxes went down. But I made it like everybody else. I want to save money, and I think this board is I wish I could pat myself on the back, or all the board members, but I think they're doing a good job. And I understand if we want to go to 88, I have no problem with it, I'll do it. Okay? But what does the board want to do? Because I got to pay taxes too. And I'm on a fixed income, so what do you
Time to
want?
start working together, so.
So what do we want?
Continue working together with the,
Go ahead.
Just as an audience member, I am very unclear on what you guys are talking about. Like, are we talking about rewriting Article 2?
No.
Like,
No.
because we can't do that, right? So what are we talking about?
Well, the budget committee took out $177,176.
Got it.
We don't think we can get by with that total amount. So we're gonna ask that we're gonna look for halfway between. We think we need about $80,000 more, and we'll give them the other 80, and we'll be happy. Okay?
So is this something that will be changed on the ballot? Like,
No, okay, but it can be changed, well, it will be technically at the deliberative session. That's where, the last time, you could change the figure to go on the ballot, and that's what that meeting is for.
the idea is to, at the deliberative session, change this number that's written right here, and the first number in
That's the budget committee's budget.
on the ballot.
so what we'll do is we'll say, look, we passed this budget. The budget committee cut it by $177,000. We'd like to meet in the middle. And go to 88, between those two figures, halfway. And then see if it gets voted on by the public.
Back to the budget committee,
No, it goes right to the voters, and the voters say yea or nay.
That's when you need to bring your friends.
and so then how does that affect this recommendation? I mean, the budget committee and the school board have recommended or not recommended
Well, we'll
this
change the
warrant
figure.
article.
It'll
Make
just
me
change
more
a
happy.
figure.
What's that?
It'll just change a figure. It won't change what's recommended and what's not. Because if it's not $177,000 less, then I assume the budget committee still wouldn't approve it, because it's not the number they cut. But we're just trying to meet in the middle and make it a little bit different number.
But the other thing you gotta remember, at the deliberative session, and Kelly in the back there made part of it somebody can come in, and they did it last year, that you cut another 10% from that school budget, which would be over $1 million. They could do it then, and that's a possibility. So that's why Kelly's right. You want everybody there. I'm willing, I'll work, I have no problem working with this. But I have a problem, I don't think we can do 10%. You might as well say this, and I'll say it now. This will be Armageddon for our schools. Armageddon.
The only thing I want to point out is our administrators came forward with really cutting out any fat out of their budgets. They came to us with bare bones. This is the same reason why I say when you go into negotiations, you never start bare bones. And we, unfortunately, we go forward to the budget committee with a bare bones budget. So any cuts are coming right out of the flesh. I'm not saying that I want to keep paying the high taxes, but I just know our administrators did a great job bringing forward bottom line dollars. I don't know where we're going to even find that kind of money to cut out without really jeopardizing. I'm all for it if we can do it. I just know how much work our administrators put in bringing us those figures, and they were all down to nothing.
Anybody else? Was Al Chairman? I'm sorry, I wasn't ignoring your purpose.
I just want to clarify, Emily, you're not putting a specific number, you're just asking to revisit and line by line look at everything, or are you putting a specific number on it?
I guess I'm putting a goal.
Goal, okay, so it's
And
not
then I
saying
think the
you
reason
have
for
to
the
come up
goal
with
is
this.
to communicate that we really are trying, and also because everybody wants everything in the budget. So if you don't have a goal, sometimes that can be a little difficult. Because I'm not saying that anything in our budget wasn't important. I agree it was all important. I agree the administrators worked hard. We also have to do what
No,
we
I
have to
agree.
do.
I'm just saying, I just wanted to point
I
out.
think it's a challenge because every committee in this town has a job to do, and sometimes those jobs force you to question other jobs, not out of disrespect, but out of making sure each job is being done to its fullest. So I think this whole season has been hard to not take personal, but just be respectful that each job has a thing to do. And I can say that I think that this budget, going through and reading it as closely as I can every time I've had a chance to look at it, is pretty bare bones, like rough year ahead. But it's the budget committee's job to question, and I think it's great that the school board's willing to re-look at each option, not out of disrespect for the work that has been done, but out of respect for, okay, we'll look at it. I think that's great.
Anybody else? Well, did you have any ideas? Where you want to cut?
No. I'm not gonna start cutting right now, no.
Well, I get you 27,000.
Well, thank you. Now, 60 more, please.
So,
Don't upset anybody. It's a challenge.
Oh, boy. Okay. So we all agreement in that? We want to do that? I have no problem. Well, the trouble is, we're not going to have time because it's coming up here within 2 weeks. We got to make that decision.
And find the places.
Right.
Well, right now, it's not a decision anymore. It happens over deliberative. What she's saying is, as a board, are you saying in the spirit of cooperation and trying to work as one, is it a feasible thing, just throwing out the concept of we're one, it is in the school versus the town, it's everybody working together. We're gonna cut, if that does transpire, we, our administrative team gets the burden of trying to cut where there's no, but again, as time goes on, you look at what you have, and there might be some things that change, personnel changes or whatever, and you hope that you could be creative, and that's our jobs. I mean, that's why we're administration, and that's why we try to do the best with what we can, and we're trying to work together.
Well, I have a suggestion for another cut, $5,600.
After school?
cut the school board's salary to zero.
There you go.
You
Okay.
can have all my money, sure.
No, I'm sorry. Moving on. Okay, is that what the board wants to do? We'll look at it and,
We revisit.
what's that?
We can
We're
revisit.
gonna, we're gonna have to, well, on the 8th, we're gonna be meeting with our attorney at 12 o'clock, so, so that'll be a discussion with our attorney, so all the board members are invited to attend that meeting. And I guess department heads too, is that right, Earl?
Correct.
Principals, vice principals?
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
So,
All with the public.
I'd like to know what programs that we offer, such as after-school programs, that the town is willing to forego, because in order to make these cuts, we're gonna have to cut things. The MES after-school program, any after-school programs, maybe our athletic department. We have to know what people want us to cut.
I think though that's what Earl is saying, that's what administration will do. I don't think we can necessarily tell them where. But I also think it's fair enough to communicate that information, to say, we cut this much money, but you should know we cut these things. I mean, there have to be choices at the end of
Right.
the day. And so, and maybe
What are people willing
maybe
to
the
live
town's
with?
okay with those cuts, but unless we do our job and put it out there, then how can anybody weigh in and be like, no, never mind, we don't want those cut.
But that's what I'm
Don't
saying,
cut
put
those
'em out.
88,000, or like, okay, reasonable.
But see, that final decision is the board's decision. They're brought to us.
Pardon me?
The final cuts is the board's decision. The board,
Oh, yeah, in the end, if that is what is decided at the deliberative, then the final cut, yeah.
Larry?
There is a proverb I've never liked, which it goes, worry is interest on a debt you may never have to pay. When the town vote ends in March, you will have 3 months to deal with the budget as it exists before July 1st starts. If nothing is successful in adding $80,000 back in, you have that same 3 months to figure out how to deal with the cuts the budget committee has put in. If you have $80,000 more, you get to figure out how to allocate that. If another action supersedes the budget committee on your own interests, again, you have 3 months to find out what happens on July 1st.
You're correct. That's what I was trying to say.
The other point is, if new topic, if an employee has a right to confidentiality under 91A, and the minutes of that personnel record are sealed, how then does any person get access to that sealed record? And I'm absolutely surprised there is not a case law, and the school attorney does not have the
There is a
answer
case law. I didn't
immediately.
have it here tonight.
well, nobody has access to those
Well,
non-public sealed minutes, other than the board members. And a new board member can come on the board and request to see them.
but this was, I thought you were discussing it in terms of someone from the community asking for a
That's what I
sealed
thought
record.
too.
Well, some people have, I think. They misinterpreted what they could have, or they
Oh,
said
okay,
sealed.
okay.
We didn't hear that part.
Done deal, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Sometimes I think way ahead of myself. Anybody else? So we're gonna have to work on this figure somehow? Okay. All right. That's it. We're down to committee board member reports.
Policy committee met tonight. We needed some clarification from the attorney. The school board administration had put out several different policies for us to look at, stuff that we had just done recently. Some of them were 3 different policies all having to do with the same thing. So we are taking, one policy, for tobacco. We don't need 3 different policies. Everything is all included under one policy. We needed a couple of clarifications, but you have other policies that are gonna be going forward to the next meeting, to the next board meeting for first reading. We had quite a few that are gonna be coming up, and just a few that had clarification issues. And we just didn't think it was necessary to have 3 different policies for the same topics. And that's it.
I just want to ask, because I know when I got my big packet of policies and I asked the same thing, but they go under different headings in the actual policy book, so GBQX or whatever it is
Right.
goes
It
under
might be
this
employees
particular
versus
one,
students, yep.
and then it's the same policy, but it's now PDQ under that one.
Yep.
And so I did ask about that because that was my question too, is why do we have 3 on the same exact thing
Yeah.
but with different numbers? And I was told they just go in different sections.
Same. For some reason, the NHSBA is recommending, saying it's not, you don't have to pull the other ones, but that you can.
Okay.
And I don't really know why they changed that, because I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it might go under employees here, but students here, and even though it's the same policy.
Yeah, and I put them where they belong.
I know.
It's fine.
Trust me.
I got one other thing I want to make very clear to these us as boards. This board does not have a liaison between the board and Facebook. All right? If you want to go on Facebook, as an individual, you have all that right in the world. If somebody needs information, they need to come back to the board. If they think the information's correct, they still have to come back to the board or the superintendent and say that information's correct or you didn't get it out to me or something like that. We do not have an official liaison between Facebook and the school board. But you as a board member, and I'll back you, have the right of free speech. I'll stand right in front of you and protect your right. But don't say, or even go to the newspaper and say you're a representative of the school board. But as an individual, you can do all you want, flags, fireworks, billboards, I don't care. Okay? Anybody else?
Tammy has already mentioned it, but just a reminder, the deliberative session is February 8th, and the school district presents theirs at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, okay.
And we're working on childcare.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, as the school district clerk, that if you would like to do a declaration of candidacy, you need to go to the SAU office on 20 School Street, and she should have the forms there for you to fill out. And we have, moderator for 3 years, treasurer for 3 years, school district clerk for 3 years, and 1 school board member for 3 years.
No. And the other thing I just want to say about let me finish. Whoever gets on the board, and I'll say something after, getting on any board, and I have a lot of respect for, I know what kind of work you have to do. Your jobs and our jobs are not easy, okay? All right? So if you're gonna come on, if you're gonna come on the school board, you're gonna work, all right? You got a job to do, and I need that job done. And if you don't get that job done, I will talk to you and tell you what your job is and what you need to get done. Because you will be assigned tasks that I need to have done, because I have jobs to do, and I'm pretty busy too. Okay.
Who is up this run? Is it you, Peg?
Just me, yeah.
Okay, so that's the board position, is Peg.
Right.
Peg's time is up right now. You've
Time is up.
running
Well,
again.
can I be here until March at least?
Yeah.
Are you running, you're rerunning, I
Yep.
assume? Okay, that's why I just want to make sure people know what's
If
going
you-
on and,
Thank you.
If it's something new, there's training you need to be taking, and I'm gonna request that you take it, because I think training's important, because you get things wrong, and if you get things wrong, we can get in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Cost us a lot of money.
one more thing.
Go ahead, Paul.
I got the conference this Saturday.
Good luck.
I'll be up there at the School Board Association for the Delegates Assembly, so that's Saturday from 10 to 3.
Yeah, I did. Anybody else? Was that, I did ask public committee member, was that
Yep.
anybody else? Okay.
Public comment.
Public comments. Tom?
Thomas McDougal, Budget Committee Chairman. I'm asking a question for. You got 3 out of 5 signatures needed on the MS-27. I did have somebody ask, why when it's on it says due 20 days after the annual town meeting, but yet we were told it had to be signed by tomorrow. Somebody just asked why.
Yeah, there's two different dates on that. That date, 20 days after, is when I have to upload it to the DRA.
Okay.
But I have to have those posted well before the deliberative session.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought it was, but I thought I'd double check.
Earl?
Going along with what you said, Tom, we weren't clear on that either, so we called the attorney.
Okay.
And once we called the attorney, fortunately, we saw your wife Lynette, and we were figuring out how Doug was gonna go to your house and get all the people and everything, and all of a sudden.
I thought we were gonna have a party tonight, I don't know.
You know, all of a sudden the rabbit came out, so we actually were having an administrative meeting, so we excused Nate so he could get the paperwork done.
Okay, yep.
Once we talked to the lawyer, and that's what it transpired, and we read him the various regs and so forth, and we went through it, and he actually looked it up himself. He said, I got it, and so according to him, I mean, that's what.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, I just had somebody ask. Right?
Yeah, but that was a good question, because he himself was doing the legwork by that.
All right. Okay, so I will. Hopefully we'll have some more signatures.
Hopefully we can get in here and sign.
Everything else? Anybody else?
We're good.
What's that?
Couple
No,
more,
we gotta go into
Doug. Couple
non-public.
more, Doug.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just have a quick comment.
I didn't mean to be rude.
I see that if you have any questions ahead of time, I know we only meet quarterly for the trustees. If you have any questions or anything, send me an email and I'll see if I can get you answers before our next meeting if you want a clarification or questions about anything.
Okay.
And Paul probably has my email address.
Yeah.
We can-
Okay, Paul.
Through Scouts, from Scouts.
Oh, Scouts, okay.
Doug.
Is your hand up, Larry, or is it, you said it the wrong way?
No.
Travis's is.
Travis. Your hand up, or
Travis.
just scratch it?
I just have a couple questions
Go ahead.
regarding
If I can answer.
RSA 91A. I know some of you watch Facebook, so these are coming from Facebook
Okay.
mostly. The RSA states that the meeting minutes for public sessions have to be posted within 5 days, and for non-public 72 hours.
And that doesn't make any sense to me, but go ahead.
I know, I thought the same
I
thing.
know, I understand. However, them not being posted in those timeframes, so is the school board gonna work to
Well, it should be
rectify
available
that?
to be seen down at the office.
Okay.
It should be. Is that,
I have them done
Yeah.
by 5 days.
So,
I usually have them completed and sent to whomever they need to be sent for proofreading.
right.
And then they get,
But is that considered to be posted, is what I'm asking, because
I don't
they have to be posted within 5 days.
yeah, I don't post them, but I just do them.
And then the last question, the RSA also allows for electronic delivery of non-public meeting minutes if they're
No, it
stored
does
on-
not.
It does, though.
if it's electronic, you're allowed to have
If
it.
it's stored electronically, you can request that they're.
If they're on
stored
electronic, yes, you are. But we don't have them on electronic.
Okay, that's all.
That's where the,
And it doesn't cost, there's no cost for that.
For electronic,
It's
you're
only
right.
cost if you have to copy it.
Okay,
Yep.
that's all, because
Yeah.
you said it's gonna be 5 cents.
for paper copies.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I was just clarifying paper versus electronic.
I don't know if we have anything electronic, do we, Earl?
It's all
I would
paper
have to
minutes.
check.
It's all paper minutes.
I don't think we do. That's my,
You don't upload
Well, I mean,
on
you
the
can attach it.
computer system or anything like that?
other than putting it on the computer, on the
On the
web.
website, that's it.
Well,
That's
that's
it.
electronic.
No, I mean,
No.
I think he means if you request, I mean, you can attach
Yeah,
minutes
if you make
to
a
an
request
email.
for information and the
Request.
information is stored electronically, you can request that
Yes.
information delivered electronically.
yeah, you can. But if it's not, if you've got other records that you want that are stored electronically, you can get them that are electronically stored, you can take them that way.
Right,
We can
that's
do
what
them
I'm
to you
saying.
right off.
Right.
But if they're not stored electronically, at least electronics are, I mean, like in someplace else, not in the facility.
In the cloud.
No, she keeps hard copies of them. That's my
Larry?
All right.
understanding.
One more thing, and that is, if I remember correctly, 91A does not require the entity to create a record in a format that it does not already use.
You're correct.
I didn't hear the rest of it, Larry. What?
That it, in a format it does not already use.
Now, what was your? I'll give this to Travis. This is the laws for 91A.
Okay.
Okay? It'll explain it in great detail.
Do you also have that other handout you mentioned?
I'm sorry?
The other thing you mentioned earlier?
What's that?
Oh,
Do you
this
want
18.
policy reading?
Oh, this one?
You want that? You can have that, here. I'll give it.
You said you had extra copies, so I
Oh,
can
yeah,
grab
if
it.
anybody wants, that's just how you do non-public. That's the correct way.
Thank you.
I just made extra copies, yeah. Anybody else want, I'll give them a copy.
Tomorrow night, the boys have playoffs, the middle school boys up at the school at 6 p.m. Let's cheer them on.
And then the other thing, I went on today, now, this is printed from today, this is 91A, brand new today. So, it would be under chapter 91A, access to general records and meetings. It's good reading.
Really?
Oh, I know.
Good reading.
You and Doug up tonight.
Anybody else want?
Non-public, let's do it.
I'll quiz
Okay.
you on it later.
What's that?
I said I'll quiz you on it later.
Well, I had to tell you, they're making some minor changes, though.
We should put like buzzers.
Yeah.
Travis B. Doug.
All right, we do that.
I know, we could raise money.
Like,
The schools,
Let's go
yeah.
non-public, Doug.
91A experts.
Okay, I need a motion to enter non-public.
Oh, motion.
second.
Wait a minute.
As part of RSA 91A, is that what you're saying?
That one.
3, 2, A, B, C, D.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and
Okay,
and listening to me.
Oh, say aye.
Aye.
For you.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.